about darts out of the blue in time to prevent himself from getting knocked. Fireflux back up now. They will be getting to 3, so it is 3 players alive on all of our remaining squads. The circle shifting away from Fireflux, though, makes this really tough. eArena sit dominantly on the high ground as well. You can see what a lovely angle Mormon has. So does No Fear over towards Fireflux, and it is really trading off that aggro. HORRA, they do lose one to a knock, and eArena should have this on lockdown as 2 players now sit right on the back to the blue for HORRA.
eArena could jump all the way up into top 5. Massive game for them, but eArena has also been on fire. They've been playing very well with them having 3 players and the high ground. HORRA has no choice but to use the natural terrain, aka the rocks, and just kind of bunny hop between them. Mormon, who's been the linchpin for this roster, he has been so very impressive, not only in group stages, but also the survival side of things. Sakura taking some damage. Mormon starting to push up, but no drama here. eArena takes game number 1 in scintillating sensational fashion, and that should jump them up into top 5.
Big news here on this match. Alpha 7 again go down early, intense game. Not a great performance from them. Influence Rage still in 10th place as well. The Brazilian teams are faltering, they are fumbling, and it may be the twilight of the region here at the PMWC. They need to stand up tall because teams like eArena, teams like Fireflux, teams like the Falcons and Regnum Kaya will take them on any day of the week. You cannot let off the pace because this is what happens.
That's it. Big from Vision's perspective. Now the question is, does Mormon Joker Sakura from eArena know where Scarface is currently at? It should very well be a dominating win from eArena where they currently are, but Scarface can dismantle this push, can dismantle the hopes and dreams of eArena from taking a victory, and the shots are fired and Mormon is down.
Scarface catches the backline for eArena and he's looking for more. He's looking healthy. He got a helmet refresh there, a fresh level 2 over onto Scarface. He knows never alone down the hill and he jumps straight into Vision. Now in a 2 versus 2 though, Vision can do a little bit more. They've got a little bit more firepower here. No up on the face. Oh, he turns his attention away just at the wrong time, but a nade from the sidelines keeps him alive.
That's it. Team Vision desperately trying to fight, and they do get a knock. This could be a takeover attempt from Team Vision. Sakura firing shots, but it's not enough. Is Vision pulling it off? Can they do it? Or will Sakura lock it in for the back-to-back for Arena to start the day? And it will be Arena back-to-back victories on the day. They look as if they are poised to go to grand finals, and they won it.
Last time around, they went out a little bit quietly towards the end for the chicken dinner. This time, it was bombastic from eArena. They held their nerve. They moved up those tiered positions on Quarry. It is so uncommon to see a team win from inside the Quarry. Fireflux dropped the ball in a big way from that eastern side. It felt like Kinatropa as well could have done a lot more in that situation, but a massive credit to eArena.
Actually getting edging closer to top 3, but anyways, with the point standings most likely going to the finals, this is imperative, an imperative victory they take for Yangon Galacticos, also a team that is very close to the bubble, just 1 point ahead of Team Falcons. A win here would also separate them from the other teams nipping at their heels, but they've got the blue zone. They've got to push up, and Noxium Red Force are ready to mow them down.
Romeo turns the corner, hits the deck, stays safe from Doc C for just a moment longer. The smokes have to come through as Noxium Red Force are closer to the center of the circle. This pace needs to be coming out from Yangon Galacticos, and Say Cloud's going to breach out into the open. This is bold and very, very dangerous coming through. Needs to stay safe. Folds back into the smoke here. And looks to unleash a little bit more, step him a little bit closer to this Smile, playing on the south side of the building, and these shots aren't connecting for Yangon Galacticos. They still have nades and mollies and everything to play with.
Yangon Galacticos very exposed out in the open at the moment. They continue to push up through the smokes. The nades are going to hurt. Say Cloud is going to be down. That's going to put Yangon Galacticos with just 2 members. Smile also gone. Is this a victory for Noxium Red Force to add up to the total where they currently stand? Yes, it will be. Noxium Red Force will take the victory. They dominate in fashion, and that is so critical because it puts them well within the top 5 and well on their way to grand finals.
There are over 70 points now for 4 of our teams. Fireflux, eArena, Power Esports, HORRA Esports as well. They are on 71 or higher points. That puts them safe over that threshold. As long as they can keep this pace, they may have done enough already. But it's teams like Nongshim Red Force who...
BS in lethal range. See if he can get this connection, fragment the players. Intense game, would be able to be shot from the sideline, debating whether or not he wants to engage. On to his teammate of Padrino, though, from further away, battling over the top side. Ooh. Silence drops in, the shot fires out, ears ringing for Fahiden. He tucks in, running. Not ready. The backstab's there. He's able to grab one. Padrino with the response. It's good.
Haji will find him, though. Padrino versus Al-Haji, and one more. Will be an incredible 1v2, but it's not going to be easy. Al-Haji up towards the rocks. And that's power. Take themselves a chicken dinner, looking more like Bear Grylls in these final moments. True survivors here on our stage. Intense game, weren't quite able to hold it out. A tree with more bark than it had bites. Unfortunately there in the end, but it's Falcons who get themselves a nice couple of points there, removing Alpha 7 and dooming them further down the tables.
That one was an awkward fight to remember, but it's anything but uncomfortable for Power. Al-Happy makes another appearance, and of course he's looking animated. The Lorizit gets one from the sideline. We say goodbye to Joker as they commit onto that. Mormon as well, falls to Diego.
Magnum Kaya looking to shut this one down quick, though. Little boy on that top side of the concrete, and he will be solid. Finds the first initial knock over towards Silas. Will flush him out. Looks for more on the drop down. Gets two. An influence rage up to 5 elims. If they can get the chicken dinner, it will be a massive, massive start to their run at the end of the day to potentially take over Yangon Galacticos. But will Regnum Kaya even care?
Lil boy being the big man on that one. Makes all the right plays at the perfect time. Loxy with the rock face to work with, tucked in, looking for the elevated peak from the top. You can start to slow down the pace now. It was chaotic among the three. But with the 2 squads remaining, knowing how important this is for either side, Influence Rage do not want to throw their opportunities away. Scout out from Loris in. Loxy locked on target. Clean connection shuts down one. Toss pick, baiting them out to face. Little boy goes in for the fight.
The nade, the only thing to keep them in this one. One sent out, Little Boy extremely low, will be taken down. Diego on the backside, that's at least a nade to keep this one going. Wild walks up, and it will be an easy finish. From the ditch, they were down low, but they end up on high for Regnum Kaya, and that game will secure their position in the top 8. For Influence Rage, they were so close yet so far. Getting that 10 point in that game would have made their game so much easier going into our final match on Miramar. But they have much, much further to go now.
Fought hard, but that's a memory that could come back to haunt you, potentially leaving your fate up to other teams now, whereas Regnum Kaya, they set it for themselves. Massive game. Great positioning, but still, like we said, even though you had such a good angle, they were being able to be proactive on so many different...
Tone looks like it's more and more likely to be Fire Flux. Unless Horror can have a massive turn up here. Influence Rage been taken down. Yangon still in the game.
Oh, Silas goes in for the heads-up call to try and do it himself. Oh, shots over.
Crazy.
Wild, literally going animalistic. The Lanimal brings the claws out, rips his way through Influence Rage. And the sideline shots continue. Horror battling back onto it as well.
And Yangon might just have survived long enough. Horror up at 3, looking to challenge for first place, but out of nowhere, in comes SayCloud.
SayCloud falls out, finished off by Sky. Regnum Kaya up against Horror, the last 2 teams that remain on this one.
Silas, the only obstacle between Horror and taking the first place home here at the PMWC Survival Stage.
It would have to be an unfathomable clutch. The 1v3 from Silas. Show us the style that he's made of. Jiggle looks for the move up. Sky with the first play. First connection's clean, but he can't do more. Regnum Kaya fall, and with that, Horror Esports do exactly what they needed to.
An incredible performance from Horror. We're going to have to tally up the total slightly later on with those placement points. But with that, Jackie, for Alpha 7, we will not be seeing them over towards the main stage. Regnum Kaya has a massive step up towards the end of this one. But Fireflux, Power, Horror all towards that podium. What an amazing finish. And even Yangon slightly surviving towards those end moments despite Influence Ray chasing, but shut down by the man himself, Silas.
And you hit the nail on the
Old sleepy, but one thing is for certain, the performance you boys put up was very far from a sleepy one. Now, heading into this entire tournament, it was rumored that Alpha 7 were your top competitors, your rivals, the team you wanted to knock out of the running, and you did exactly that. I have to ask you, why Alpha 7?
Because they were making fun of us. I don't know why, but they were making fun of us, and yeah, that's it. And we don't like it. Then
Well, you certainly showed them who was boss. Now, heading into the grand finals, obviously you boys have had an extra 2 days to kind of warm into this tournament with the survival stage. Do you feel like that's going to give you an added benefit, an advantage going up against those other 8 teams?
yeah, of course it will, and we have more time to practice, and that's why we're gonna get more confident also. That's why it's gonna help a lot.
And who do you think your biggest rival is going to be in the grand finals? You've already taken out Alpha 7 from the competition, so who's next on your list for grand finals?
Our main competitor will be Alpha Gaming, because they are our regional champions also. That's why they are the main contenders.
Okay, you're taking out all of the alphas over here at PMWC. I'm loving this from you. Do you have a message for the fans that have been cheering you on throughout your entire journey so far?
Yeah, I want to thank all of our fans who have been supporting us from the very beginning. I'm so thankful for you guys, and keep supporting, keep loving. That's it.
There you go, you heard it here. Very from Sleepy and Horror Esports. Remember, folks, the grand finals will be taking place on Friday for championship weekend. We have an abundance of talent and $3 million on the line. We'll see you there.